Hey Bearcats, Gina Thomas here, head women's lacrosse coach here at the University of Cincinnati. I'm joined here by the assistant coaches. This is Shannon Witzel. She has been here for 8 years, going in her ninth as well. And this is Caitlin Prince going into her third season with the Bearcats. And Shannon is from Pennsylvania, Prince is from Maryland, and we're just excited to teach you a little bit about lacrosse.
All right, Bearcats, let's talk about our hand placement on our stick to get started. So we want to start with our bottom hand all the way at the bottom of our stick, touching the end. And our top hand's going to be at the top third of our stick. Make sure we have a little bit of space at the top. We don't want to be choked up to start. That's going to be something called a small stick. So to start with regular hands, bottom hand's all the way at the bottom, and your dominant hand is going to be at the top. Okay, if we were to switch hands, we switch sides of our body with that stick, so always making sure our opposite foot is stepping forward. So if my right hand is up, my left foot is forward, vice versa here when we switch. Left hand up, right foot forward, keeping that ball protected, body's in front at all times. So as we're catching and throwing, we want to notice that hand placement. Their hands are at the bottom of their stick, their top hand is at the middle to the top third. Their arms are up and away from their body, and they're stepping with their opposite foot forward every single time they're throwing. Okay, moving forward, let's talk a little bit more about how they're throwing and catching, the fundamentals with that follow through and with that catch. So what's important? Our top hand is our aiming hand. We're always making sure that the top hand is going towards our target. So Shannon's making sure she snaps her top wrist and her bottom wrist at the same time to create a follow through going all the way across her body. So top hand is for aim, bottom hand is going to pull for power, and we're going to snap our wrist once our stick is in aim with that target to make sure we get a good straight line pass. Notice their passes are straight, they're not rainbow form, there's not a lot of air under it. It's important that we have good hard passes. For the catches, you'll notice that they meet the ball out in front of them and then they bring it back to make the catch. Okay, so we're meeting it in front, soft hands, soft catch. We want the ball to be loose in our stick in the sweet spot. Stick should be in our fingertips. You'll notice that we shift the stick as we cradle. We don't want to have a fist on the stick. We want to make sure that the stick is loose in the fingertips to have soft hands. All right guys, let's talk about the fun part. We're moving into shooting, so we're gonna ramp up that throwing and work a little bit more on aim and making sure we're building that power and working on a good release point. Okay, so we're still making sure our opposite foot is always stepping forward. Our hands are still loose on our stick in that same hand positioning. Okay, as we're throwing, we want our top hand to continue to aim towards our target. So right now, if I'm aiming towards the top right corner, my top hand is going to aim there first. My bottom hand starts to pull. I'm pulling towards my opposite hip. And as I release the ball on the snap, I want to make sure that my follow through continues to go across my body. Okay, we don't want to cross our hands. This is a common mistake where we cross our hands on that same side of our body. So it's important to keep our hands separate, apart from each other, following through and across our body. You'll also notice my arms are away from my body. There's air flowing underneath of my arms. I'm not pinned down trying to throw like a T-Rex. We're up and have lots of space and we can move around.
All right, Bearcats, let's talk about the best part of the game. It's defense. Defense wins championships, so we spend a lot of time on the defensive end of the ball. So let's have some fun and talk about how you protect your house and play defense on and off the ball. All right, so we're going to talk about Shannon and how she's going to play defense on ball. We are going to play flat defense and demonstrate flat defense first. Her knees are bent in an athletic position, butt's down, and she has her hands out and away from her body. What we do here at Cincinnati is we teach shadowing the stick. So her feet are apart, her butt is down, her hands are out, and wherever this attacker has her stick, that's where we have our stick. So our hands are out and away from our body, shadowing the stick. As you see, our demo is here, switching to our left hand. Now Coach Shannon is in a position where her stick is shadowing her stick again, hands are out away from her body. If you look at her hand placement is very similar to where it would be if you have, if you're in the passing and catching stance. So bottom hand is all the way at the bottom of the stick. Top hand is about in the middle of the stick, maybe a little bit further down to your comfort level. And we are in a great defensive stance here, keeping our chest up, butt down, okay? What we see a lot of times is we stand up straight and we just keep our hands out here and we just follow the ball and run with it. We don't want to do that. We want to make sure our butt is down, our hands are out, and we're in good athletic stance position. As Caitlin starts to move, we will slide our feet and keep our body positioning in front of the ball.
Couple more times. Yep.
Last thing we're going to talk about is off-ball defense. I don't think they teach this enough in youth, so I want to make sure that you guys learn the best from the beginning and how you play defense off the ball. So you just saw Coach Shannon play great on-ball defense, sliding her feet, so now we're going to move to off-ball, okay? I am going to be playing on-ball defense like Coach Shannon, where I'm in a good defensive position. Coach Shannon is off-ball, so if you see her position, she wants to make sure that she is seeing the ball and seeing me as her teammate. It's really important that we don't just watch our own player, that we are seeing where the ball is and seeing our teammates, so we are ready to help. All right, so again, like we talked about, I am on ball, Shannon is off ball. So as I'm playing defense, Coach Shannon is going to be checking into the middle of the 8 meter and checking out. We call that checking in, so that we're checking into the middle to defend and protect our goalie and help our defense. That's why Coach Shannon is looking at me, not looking at her offensive player, and she's protecting the middle of the 8 meter. So as I'm playing defense, she is checking in and helping me if I need it, so that if Prince beats me, she helps me. So I think that's a really great opportunity for you guys to get better, is making sure that off ball, you are not just looking at your girl, you are helping your teammates. Go Cats.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure that you make it out to campus this spring to a game or a camper clinic. You can follow us at gobearcats.com, and we're excited to get back out on the field soon. Thank you.